Hi everyone, this is Laurie of More Art from the Heart. Thank you for joining me again today. Let me show you what I've been working on. I am getting ready for Christmas bazaars, and I sell some of this stuff on my Artfire store as well. The link will be down below if you're interested. But I thought I would show all my crafty friends how I put these together in case they'd like to put some together themselves. I'd love to see somebody else's designs for these baby shoes. Let me show you each one up a little close, and then I will give you the little story in behind them. There's that one, and then this one. I try to finish them off even in the back in case somebody was to place them like in the center of a table or something. I think the shabby chic and vintage look to Christmas is so beautiful, and I know it's becoming really popular, and so I'm finding that people really like these types of things to display. So I thought I'd share with you how I put them together. I got a cute little story that goes with how I got all these different shoes. These are all old baby shoes, probably from the 1950s and back, somewhere in there. And they had the little hard-soled shoes that they used to put on the toddlers. Well, how I got a hold of these ones, I was back visiting my grandkids in Missouri, and my daughter-in-law took me out to a like a barn that has old antiques and stuff in it. They were having their big Christmas sale going on in the barn, and when we came into the barn, I happened to spot over in the corner this large square jar, and I just went nuts. I'm thinking, oh, that's a gorgeous jar to begin with. It had a nice silver lid with it, and it was filled, it was packed, I mean literally packed with old baby shoes. This is how these started off. All of these started off looking. The shoes were definitely very worn, very old. Definitely on the used side, which was definitely the appeal to me. I loved that look, and I kept thinking these would be so much fun to alter and do something with. My daughter-in-law looks at me and says, so what in the world are you going to do with all those shoes? And I told her, I said, I'm going to fill them with goodies and alter them. And so she's anxious to see what the heck I did with them. But because the thing was, when she took me to this sale, the day that she took me was the day that I was actually leaving to get on the plane to fly back home, and I already had my suitcase packed. I mean, packed. It was about as full as legally allowed, I'm sure. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the world am I going to get these home? But I've got to get these shoes because I love the idea of doing something like this with the shoes. So I told her, I was teasing her, and I said, well, I'm going to figure out how to get all that into my suitcase if I have to leave the jar behind, and all my underwear. I'm going to get them into my suitcase anyway. And she just laughed, and I said, no, I'm going to get them in there somehow. I actually ended up just cramming more in there. I did just kind of rearrange things and roll things a bit tighter, and was able to even get the jar in the luggage. And I was carrying it on, so I wasn't worried that somebody was going to end up breaking the jar. If I had checked it in, I don't know what kind of condition it had been in, but being I was carrying it on in my roll-on suitcase, I was able to get it in there. So Kimberly, this is what I was saying that I wanted to do with all those shoes. So like I said, I started with them. They were very worn looking. I took them and covered them in gesso. So let's see if I can find the match to this one. Some had matches and some did not, which was fine because I'm actually going to sell them individually like this. So like this is the one that's the match to this. And you can see there, this is just covered with gesso, completely covered with the gesso. And this is what it looked like after I finished. And so what I did with these was I knew I wanted it to still look worn, because if you see here, by painting it completely with gesso, it doesn't look very worn anymore, which this looks fine, but I definitely wanted a worn, you know, aged look to it. So I actually took my emery board and sanded down some of the edges about where you would see worn spots on shoes, like right down in here, over the toe, any of the seams. And this one actually, you can see it goes up quite a ways up there. And I just around the edges and a little bit on the bottom, you know, so like be like scuffed. And so I did that and got off a little of the gesso with some of the shoe showing through in places. And then, because I didn't have some of the other stuff I wanted to use to add a little bit of sparkle to it, I went ahead and tried this. I took the Mr. Hughes spray, and this is just shine. I don't know if there's an actual color of this. It's just shimmery, that's all I can say. Anyway, so while it was wet, I shook this up, sprayed the shoe down, and before it dried almost immediately, I sprinkled it with this iridescent glitter. This is a really, really, really fine glitter, but it worked well. It stuck to the shoe with the spray, and then I let it completely dry, and it actually brought out some more of the worn look in it when I got the spray on it. And I let it dry overnight, and then the next morning I went to test it, and yeah, the glitter started to come back off. It was just dried, and I thought, okay, so that maybe that wasn't as good as like putting it on with some kind of adhesive or embossing powder, but it's all I had at the moment, so I thought I'd go ahead and just try it that way. So what I did then was just actually took a sealer that I have. It's just a clear, it's actually a gloss sealer, and I sprayed them directly over there. Now it's snowing outside here, and so I couldn't take them outside and spray them like I usually do. So you should have seen me. I was holding the shoe out over the porch, out the door, without going completely outside, and spraying and then setting it back in and then doing that to the next one. I bet it looked kind of silly to my neighbors seeing my arm come fly out with a shoe in it, spray it, and then bring it back in and set it back down, and here comes my arm back out. I actually have about 10 of these shoes sprayed and ready to decorate. I only have these 5 finished, but I'm sure that was a funny sight, seeing this arm come flying out and with a shoe in my hand. I'm sure my neighbors see strange things every once in a while, though. Anyway, so what I did next with these, as soon as I had done that, I just used some Florist, the dry foam, and put down in here, just stuffed it down in here, and then I took and laced each shoe up with, let's see if I can see one of these, with ribbon. The laces that came in them were, you know, really, really worn looking, and of course that would not look as attractive. So what I did is I actually just took and laced it right back up with ribbon and then tied it in a bow. It's just a real sheer ribbon here. This one's mine personally. I will not be selling this one because of the little bear and the little spooner are very special to me that are in here. This is a little spoon that I had collected years ago on a antique trip, and so I don't want to get rid of that one. And the little bear was actually given to me by my daughter-in-law, Kimberly, and so it's a little, you see it here, it's a little Christmas bear. It's got a little wreath around his ear, and he's got little wings. I love these sweet little bears. I'm not even sure if they sell them anymore. They have little jointed arms and legs and stuff, but I wish I had something more like this to have added into the other ones, but I did not. So this one will be mine. I also took and added lace around some of them. Let me see if I can show you another one of them. This one just has a row of this type of lace with another row up here of this lace here. And this lace, I just got this at Walmart, both of these here. And then I've added some, on this one, I've added some little iridescent pearls. It's got some little pearls dangling down. Just some different little floral flowers, and the greenery and stuff was all from Michael's. They're having all theirs on sale, so that's where I picked up all of that. And the little iridescent part in here is from a little garland that I have. And this one, I actually have a little glass angel in. Can you see her sitting in there? And again, this one has the layer of lace and then that ribbon. Like, I should have got a piece of that to show you, sorry. I also had some cute little glass baubles. So I put one on there, on that one. And these are from last year. They had just a little bit of pink in the middle of the gold. I really like that, so added. So, you know, 'cause some people decorate with gold and some people decorate with silver and stuff. So I try to come up with different ideas for each one of them. You can see it's got a bauble here and a little glass one here. And I've got some sparkly greenery in there. Here you can see a little bit better maybe the layering of lace and stuff in there. You see the shimmer? There you go. I had first had an idea that I was going to take and use these, actually, like hang them on a tree. And I still may do that with some of them. I'm thinking about figuring out how to make some kind of thing coming out of it, some lace, and then a ribbon up off of it. So it'd be something you can hang from a tree. That'll be the next project I try to do. Alrighty, well, thank you very much for peeking in on me again. I love to hear your comments, so if you get a moment and you can, please leave me a comment down below. Thank you very much for sharing your time and your day again with me. Bye-bye.